Rumors are that allegedly there is a plan to have Dr. Wendy Osefo fired at Real Housewives of Potomac. What's the plan and who's behind this alleged plot? I have some new information that may answer all of those questions and more right after this. What's up, kinfolk, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, do me a favor and get notified so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. All right, kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about, and it centers around rumors that allegedly there is a plan to have Dr. Wendy Osefo fired at Real Housewives of Potomac. What's the plan and who's behind it? I have some new information that may answer all of those questions and more. And here it goes. Rumors are that fans are becoming increasingly worried about Dr. Wendy Osefo's future at Real Housewives of Potomac. A source explains, it appears to be a concerted effort to have Wendy removed from the cast. Fans have every right to feel this way based on the actions of both Gizelle, Ashley, and new housewife Anika. These alleged efforts are very similar to the tactics used to get rid of Monique and the tactics that led to Candiace being attacked. The source continued, fans have taken to social media to call out production's tactics in order to build a wall of support and protection around Wendy. Another source said, this is bad and not surprising. Even seeing the blatant attacks against Wendy's family isn't too surprising at all either. But the question is, what is this alleged plan by enemies of Wendy to have her removed from the show? And can this plan work? Well, an industry insider says, it's clear that Gizelle and Ashley are trying to allegedly instigate issues between Anika and Wendy that leads to a physical altercation. It's clear that the ladies think Wendy's weak spot is her love and protection of her family. These meaningless and weird attacks towards Wendy, Eddie, and her mother are all clearly created to take Wendy out of character to the point to where things could eventually get physical. Another source said that also creating the narrative that Wendy's mother allegedly practices dark magic may be used to create the narrative of an unsafe work environment that requires Wendy's immediate removal. The source continued, it's becoming more clear with each episode that Anika is a part of a plan at the hands of allegedly Gizelle, more so than Ashley, to be used as a vehicle to get rid of Wendy. But why? People are speculating, ended the source, that the reason is because Wendy is too smart to be controlled by Gizelle. And fans agree. On social media, one fan said, Anika clearly wants Wendy's job, which is crazy because they're both Nigerian housewives who are equally successful. Another fan said, here is a clear sign of colorism at play. Because both Wendy and Nika are darker skinned, Anika probably feels that there's only room for one dark-skinned Nigerian cast member at the franchise at a time. And another fan said, eventually, Anika and her husband were going to show everyone just how fake and forced they are. Their agenda to attack their Osefo seems weird and contrived. I hope it's their first and last season. All sources agree that this is a weird plot to attack Wendy and Eddie. And a lot of fans also believe that these attacks are driving the ratings of the show down. So, will these attacks lead to Wendy being let go at Real Housewives of Atlanta? All sources say probably not. But if Wendy isn't too careful, she could fall to Gizelle's plot one way or another that she may not see coming. All right, kinfolk. Now, these are some new information that came across my desk early over the weekend. And some of this information came to me before this week's episode. So with that being said, the first thing about this rumor that I absolutely find true is this. I do believe that Wendy is ultimately too smart to fall for Gizelle's scheme. And I said it because if you notice on this week's episode, Wendy pretty much called out the plot. She said, you are coming towards me or coming at me because you're trying to take me down. You want my position. And I'm paraphrasing here. But that's what Wendy told Anika in so many words when they were at the pickleball match. And Wendy is absolutely right. I think Wendy saw Anika coming from a mile away. And I do feel like that Wendy decided to treat or handle Anika with a long-handed stick because she wasn't sure what was Nika's purpose or her agenda coming on the show or trying to enter the friend group. So with that being said, I do feel like these attacks are deliberate. And at the end of the day, I don't think that Wendy will fall victim to them. Even if Gizelle tries her best shot at, trying to agitate Wendy to where things get physical. Because this weekend's episode, you saw where things were about to somewhat get physical between Eddie and Ike, and how Wendy stopped that from escalating even further. Now, kinfolk, the next part of this rumor that I do find very interesting, but I'm not surprised, and it's regarding Anika and Gizelle. And it's this. It's sad that Anika doesn't know that she's being used by Gizelle to try to allegedly take down Wendy. And it would be even more shocking if she did know and is going along with it. But I don't think that's the case. I honestly feel like that Anika was brought on to make Wendy look bad, but she was manipulated into thinking that that's exactly what Wendy was trying to do to her. And I do think that with Anika being her first season on the show, I think she allowed her ego and even some insecurities about the image that she wanted to portray on the show stand in the way of her creating a real friendship with Wendy and not being able to block out all the negativity and the lies from Gizelle and Ashley that's pretty much stopping those two Nigerian queens from being really good friends. Now, I will admit this episode really opened my eyes up a lot to Gizelle's and Ashley just disdain for Wendy. And it's just also very sad that production is allowing this to happen. But it's even more sad that Anika herself is falling victim to it. I do feel like Anika knows exactly the cast dynamic because I believe she watches the show or watched the show before she became a cast member. The thing about it is I don't think Anika realized that she is Monique. And if history repeats itself, then Anika probably won't have too many more seasons left on the show. Now, kinfolk, the next part of this rumor that I do find very likely to happen is this. If you are to believe this information, because right now it's all speculation and alleged information, but if you are to believe that Gizelle really does have this secret plan to try to get rid of Wendy, it's going to fail spectacularly. And it also is going to backfire as well. And this time, I don't think Gizelle's going to be able to hide her hand. I don't think Ashley is going to be able to hide her hand in the grand scheme of everything. Because fans have pretty much made it known that they are hip to game. And I do believe my sources when they say that fans have taken to social media to call out these very mean-spirited attacks against Wendy and her family in order to build a wall of protection around Wendy, to let production know that they're not crazy and they see everything that they're doing in order to try to make Wendy and her family look bad so they can potentially probably get her off the show and put Anika in her place. But the thing about that is Wendy really does hold her own. And that's the thing I feel like really frustrates Gizelle, because Gizelle can't necessarily get under Wendy's skin the way she wants to, because Wendy is very smart in that regard. Now, I will say this. I do feel like one of Wendy's weak spots is that she feels like she has to overcompensate in front of the ladies because she's been like so disrespected by them so much in the past. And I think once she releases herself of that the way Candace has, I think she'll be able to handle those ladies even more intelligently than what she's already doing now. Now, kinfolk, the last part of this rumor that I think that we can all pretty much agree with, and it has to do with production, and it's this. You know, it is just so remarkable how production can ruin, or how bad production can ruin a great franchise. One of the things with Housewives of Potomac is that their drama was always organic, something that their fans and their followers always pointed out. Everyone seemed to have a genuine relationship with each other, and everyone seemed to understand the group dynamic to where the drama was organic. But now it seems as if production has gotten lazy, and them trying to make this voodoo priestess narrative about Wendy's mother work or stick just goes to show you how desperate they are for a drama, or desperate enough for attention. What they don't understand is that by doing that, they are really chipping away at the Real Housewives of Potomac brand. They're really tripping away at the things that made Real Housewives of Atlanta good and legendary. And so until they realize that their actions are not helping but actually hurting the franchise, then we're not going to see much change. And, you know, it's also very unfortunate how violence was seemed to be encouraged over this last episode, and how Real Housewives of Potomac producers didn't feel a need to edit some of that aggression out between the men. What it goes to show you is that, you know, Real Housewives of Potomac, it seems as if they have just really given up on genuine storylines and just trying to make situations happen with a lot of nonsense and inaccurate information. But kinfolk, I want to know what you guys think. If you are to believe this rumor, do you think it's a concerted conspiracy to try to have Dr. Wendy and Eddie removed from the show because Gizelle simply doesn't like them? Or do you think that there isn't a concerted effort to have Dr. Wendy and Eddie removed from the show, and that all the heat that they're taking is just based off Gizelle, just based off jealousy and hate from Gizelle? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, kinfolk, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys over on the next one. Peace.